Hello guys, this is for the win Evan here. I'm doing a deck profile on my Masked Heroes deck. It's pretty fun. It's really cheap for how good of a deck it is. It beats a lot more expensive decks that I've played. And so the main purpose of this deck is to get out a Dark Law and just keep making your enemy shove everything into their banished zone. And to do that, we have a lot of mask changes, a lot of masked heroes, and a lot of other spells and traps and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and start going through the monsters. We've got 11 monsters, and first off, let's go through the heroes. So, of course, we've got 3 elemental heroes, Shadow Mist, one of the most important one of the most important monsters in this deck, because you can either special summon him, which gives you a free quick play change spell card from your deck, and that's really useful. And then if you don't want to do that, whenever he goes to the grave, you can get another hero card from the deck into your hand, which is also really good. And so other heroes that we're going to be using is Bubbleman, Elemental Hero Bubbleman. If you don't have any cards in your hand, you can special summon him, and if you also don't have any cards on the field other than him, then you also get to draw 2 cards, so it's really good to top deck him when you're losing by a lot. It can change the game. Then also it's just to help with the mask changes to get some other fusion monsters. Next up, last hero, we've got Neos Alius. That's to get us our Koga, and he's also got 1900 attack, so he's pretty good. That's it for the heroes, for the monsters. Our next most important monster is Summoner Monk. Better than some of the heroes in some cases, because you can ditch a random spell that you don't need, like a ROTA if you already have the monsters you need, or a Warrior Returning Alive if it's the beginning of the game, and then you get a free level 4 monster from the deck. It's just easy special summon. And then he also automatically goes into defense position too when you summon him, so that's another plus. Next up, we got 3 Goblindbergh. That's to help special summon our any other warriors, but especially our Shadow Mist to get some quick play mask cards or change cards. So that's good. And that's it for the monsters. We once again only have 11 monsters, so we've got to make up for it in the spells, which we'll be going through next. So of course, we have 3 ROTA because they're almost all warriors in this deck, other than our Summoner Monk. So I've got 3 ROTAs to get some of that. And also, if you already have the warriors you need, you can just chuck one of those with Summoner Monk's effect to special summon another monster. And all the monsters in this deck are level 4, so you have a choice of any monster you want. Next up, we've got 3 Mask Change. Mask Change is another really important spell, just so you can get your fusion monsters out. That's pretty self-explanatory. Mask Charge to recycle your other mask changes and your heroes. And the reason I only run 1 is because if you end up drawing into one before you even have a mask change or a hero, it's completely useless. All you can really do is chuck it with a Summoner Monk, but that's just a waste because you can save 2 cards from the graveyard. So I just run 1. Next up, we've got Forbidden Lance. We've got 2 of them, just so we can protect our monsters or be able to get over an opponent's monster with an 800 attack loss. Next, we've got a Hero Lives. With the Hero Lives, it's really good to have Summoner Monk and then just ditch this card early game if you have it early game, because with Summoner Monk, you pretty much get its effect for free. Because if you just play this card, pay half your life points, and you have to have no monsters on your side of the field to be able to play it. Summoner Monk, you get a special summon, but there's no requirements, and you don't have to actually pay half your life points. In early game, 4,000 is a lot. Late game, it could be 2,000, 1,000 if it's really late. So it's really good lifesaver. And then also you can special summon the Shadow Mist, which easily gets you a free mask change, which will get you a free fusion. So that's pretty cool. Next up, Warrior Returning Alive. Once again, something you could ditch early game or really useful late game if all your Dark Laws or Ankis are in the grave, or any other warrior that you might need. 3 MSTs. Sometimes I'll run 2 MSTs and 2 Mask Charges, because Mask Charge is pretty good, and 3 MSTs is a little cloggy with 2 Mask Charges. There's nothing else you can really take out that wouldn't hinder the deck. Book of Moon for utility. Book of Moon's pretty awesome. Might as well include it. And then 3 Upstart Goblins, just to make the deck even faster than it already is. And so that is it for the spells. It's 18 spells. Next up, we've got our traps. So the most important trap, I think, is the Crush Card Virus. Crush Card Virus is amazing because we have 4 targets that we can use for it, which are the 3 Shadow Mist and 1 Summoner Monk. The requirement is you have to tribute a dark monster with 1,000 or less attack, and all 4 of them, I should say, match that requirement. And then what you get to do is you destroy all of your opponent's monsters that are 1,500 attack or more. You discard all monsters in your opponent's hand that are 1,500 attack or more, and then your opponent gets a choice of discarding 3 from their deck. But most of the time they won't use that unless it's a latest one or something to that extent. But anyway, it's really good because it can just completely destroy all the monsters they have in their hand and on the field, and it's so useful. And then with Dark Law, also, those are all banished instead of just destroyed or discarded. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we got Dark Bribe, which is also another good one with Dark Law, because you negate the spell or trap your opponent uses. They get a draw card, and then that pops Dark Law's second effect, which is you get a banish 1 random card from your enemy's hand, which makes them have a -1 because you negated their activation of a trap. They lost a card and then drew a card, or drew a card then lost a card. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good little combo. Next up, we've got 2 Call the Haunted, more utility just to get back a Dark Law, or once again a Shadow Mist just to pop that effect so you can get a free mask change. Next up, we've got 2 Mirror Force just to control the enemy, make sure they don't have too many monsters in attack position. We've got Breakthrough Skill, which is pretty good if there's an enemy that won't let you use monster effects or can't be destroyed by battle or something like that. It's pretty useful. We've got a Fiendish Chain for the same reason, but it stays on field and is indefinite until they destroy it, so it's a lot better. We've got a Trap Hole, more utility, just to... Oh, you're going to normal summon that? No, you're not, so you can't synchro. Too bad. This is pretty useful. Then Bottomless Trap Hole, if you go ahead and use that, you've still got your Bottomless for an XZ summon or a special summon or anything. And finally, Compulse for pretty much everything. Compulse will solve all your problems. So that's it for the traps. Let's move on to the extra deck. My extra deck is not completely finished. It's still just kind of okay for now, but you guys can choose your own cards that you like that you can run with it, because this deck can use a lot of different cards. So first off, we've got Dark Law. You want to have 2 Dark Law. 1 Dark Law, you will not win as many games. I don't have 2 right now because I just got rid of one of mine, so I'm going to be getting a second one soon. And it will help me a lot because I only have 1 right now and it's not good. As soon as he dies, you have to have Call the Haunted or Warrior Returning Alive or something to get him back, or else the game is tipped in the opponent's favor. Next most important, I'd say, is Mask Hero Anki. I've got 2 of them already. I might only run 1 once I get some better XZs or fusions or anything else that I can use, because I haven't finished the extra deck yet. Any others? Let's see. We've got Acid. Acid's really good because that clears out their back row. So if you want to run 2, that wouldn't be a bad idea if you have the room for it. I've also got Koga. That's for the Nias Alias is for Koga, because he's just a beater. Like, however many monsters your opponent has, gains 500 attack for each. Also, you can banish a hero and reduce the attack of any monster on the field by however much attack that monster had. So, like, with Dark Law, he's only got 2,400. If you use Koga's effect, you can easily get over a 3,000 or even 4,000 attack monster, because Koga's effect is just pretty awesome. Last is I have Masked Hero Diane. The only reason I have him is because I also side deck Clayman, but I don't ever really put him in. It's never really worth it because he's just too slow. So that's it for the fusions. Let's see. So now I only have 3 XZs, but they're pretty good, and you could definitely add a lot to this because it's not even the limit yet. It's not even at the limit. So my 3 XZs are Blade Armor Ninja, which is pretty self-explanatory, Excalibur, which is also pretty self-explanatory, and Delteros, which is a little weird, but I really like him because you just get, it's a free pop. You get a pop a card for free. So like they'll summon something big, or they'll have some spell or trap that's been going on that's really annoying. You just XZ summon him, and then detach, boom, there it goes, it's gone. And his attack isn't too bad at 25, so he's pretty good. And since he's 3, which might seem kind of bad, that does give him an extra XZ material so that you can destroy a third card instead of just the normal 2 that a lot of level 4s have. Or rank 4s have, I should say. So yeah, Blade Armor because you can do 4,400 direct attack on like the second turn if they don't have anything. Or you can destroy a monster and still do 22. And then Excalibur because you can easily get over something to like 3,000, 3,500, something like that. Or even just blow up another 4,000. And they're just really useful. So my extra deck is pretty much just suggestions right now, except for you definitely want Dark Law. If you don't have Dark Law in there, you're going to lose. But if you add some other good stuff into this, you'll have a better deck than I have right now. And it's so fluid. There's almost never a dry hand. Your hands are always like, you've always got really good plays that you can do with all the ROTAs and all the different monsters and special summoning that you can do. So I hope you guys have as much fun building this deck and playing against other people as I did, because this deck is really fun. So I'll see you guys in the next video.